All right, let's jump right in. What we're looking at today is, well, it's incredibly ambitious. It's not just some policy paper, it's being called a manifesto for a complete national transformation. Basically, a blueprint for building a brand new Bangladesh.
And this quote right here really sets the tone for everything else. The idea is that the nation is at this critical turning point, where the old ways just aren't cutting it anymore, and something bold, something totally new is needed. It's all about a radical reimagining.
So it all boils down to this one big question, right? What if a country could actually have a detailed blueprint to build its own future? Imagine a roadmap, not just for, say, economic growth, but for a total national comeback. That's exactly the vision we're breaking down in this explainer.
Now, where do all these ideas come from? Well, they're from a book called The Architects of Tomorrow by an author named Guru Delawar Hossain. And it's important to note, this isn't presented as some abstract academic theory. No, it's meant to be a practical, hands-on guide, a strategic roadmap to lead the country into a whole new era.
And let's be clear, the ambition here is huge. We're not talking about small, incremental changes. The stated goal is to elevate Bangladesh to the same level as countries like Japan, Finland, and Singapore. I mean, to become a global gold standard for progress. That's a massive goal.
Okay, this part is really telling. Look at the dedication. It's for the martyrs and participants of both the 1971 and the 2024 mass uprisings, and for the youth, for Generation Z. By doing this, it's basically positioning the whole plan as a bridge, connecting the nation's past sacrifices with its future hopes.
So, a grand vision is one thing, but how do you actually make it happen? Well, at the very heart of this plan is a specific economic proposal. This is the engine that's designed to drive the whole transformation.
And this is its symbol. This is for the DA4 plan, which stands for the Economic Governance and Stability Initiative. Giving it a name and a logo like this, it's a smart way to take a bunch of complex policies and make them feel more solid, more like a unified brand.
All right, now, this is absolutely crucial. The entire system, the whole thing, hangs on one single metric, the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business ranking. So what is that? Well, it's basically a score for how easy it is for local businesses to operate. Things like how long it takes to start a company, get an electricity connection, or pay your taxes. And in this plan, that ranking isn't just a goal, it's the trigger for everything that follows.
And this is where the plan gets really, really radical. See, it's not just about setting some targets. It's about creating this incredibly powerful system of rewards and consequences. We're talking a very direct carrot and the stick approach to get the entire government to perform.
I mean, think about it. It's the ultimate challenge for any big reform, right? How in the world do you get a massive bureaucracy, every single part of it, to move in the same direction and with real urgency? Well, the answer this book proposes is both surprisingly simple and incredibly dramatic.
So, here's the first target. It's not a small step, it's a giant leap. Get Bangladesh into the top 30 on that Ease of Doing Business index. Just achieving that would be a monumental shift for the country's economy. And if they hit that target, here's the carrot. Salaries get doubled, not for a select few, but for all government and autonomous employees. Think about everyone from civil servants to people at state-run companies or public universities. This isn't just some little bonus, it's a massive, life-changing incentive that's directly tied to a national result. But wait, it doesn't stop there.
Because the next level is even more ambitious. The goal? Break into the top 20. Now we're talking about putting Bangladesh up there with the world's absolute elite when it comes to being business-friendly and efficient.
And if they hit that mark, the reward gets scaled up accordingly. We're talking salaries tripled. That includes all allowances and incentives. The whole idea is to directly connect the prosperity of the public sector to how well it enables the private sector to thrive.
So this slide lays it all out, the two sides of this coin. On one side, you've got the carrot, those huge salary boosts. But on the other side, you've got the stick. And man, it is a big stick. The proposal says that if the ranking doesn't improve by at least 3 spots in a single month, then industries would be allowed to just stop paying taxes and VAT. The thinking behind it is pretty direct. If the government isn't doing its job to help businesses, it doesn't get to collect their money.
Okay, so we've got this massive incentive system, but how do you actually do it? How do you climb that ease of doing business ranking? Well, the plan doesn't just dangle a reward out there, it actually lays out a very specific 6-point strategy for getting the job done.
And here are the 6 key pillars of that strategy. As you can see, it's a pretty comprehensive game plan,
covering everything from the physical stuff to the political climate. First, you've got your hard infrastructure. Better roads, ports, reliable power. Then, there's what you could call the software of the economy. Slashing red tape, making regulations simple and transparent, and making it easier for entrepreneurs to get loans. It also tackles human resources, improving education and training. And finally, it recognizes that none of this works without political stability and a strong national brand that attracts investors. It's a whole system approach to making an economy work.
So, when you pull back from all the specific policies and numbers, you see that the source material presents this not just as an economic plan, but as a kind of philosophical movement. It's really a call for a complete national reset, a rejuvenation.
And this final quote, I think it just perfectly captures the spirit of the whole thing. The argument is that, look, new rules and economic incentives, they aren't enough on their own. Real victory, true success, only happens when you have a unified national will, when every single person is pulling in the same direction with one shared, unwavering purpose.
And that really leaves us with this one big question, doesn't it? What does it truly take to architect a nation's tomorrow? Is it a radical plan with powerful, almost shocking incentives? Or is it that unified spirit of a people? This blueprint from the architects of tomorrow makes a bold claim. You absolutely, positively need both. It's a fascinating, and you have to admit, a pretty provocative vision for the future.